Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Rika and this is Rika Life. Thank you so much for joining me on my adventures in yarn and crochet. Today, as always, have lots of fun stuff for you. If you haven't already, please like this video and consider subscribing to my channel for all the yarny goodness. All right, so I am back from my road trip and I took entirely too much yarn. I think I took six cakes of Mandala gradient yarn. I took one cinnamon swirl cake. I took one Mandala bonus bundle, and I took one Mandala ombre. So I had 9 cakes or balls of yarn with me, and I didn't get to crochet as much as I thought I would. I actually didn't crochet at all on the way there, but I did crochet the whole way back. So I did finish something. So first I'm going to share that with you, and then we can just have a little bit of a whip and yarn chat session. So this was the Mandala bonus bundle that I used. This is what it looks like, Mandala bonus bundle. And the color I used was Giant. So that is the picture that they show you there for the color Giant. Those are the specs there. It's almost 1,200 yards. It is a number 3 weight, but I didn't have the entire ball. I had used part of it for another project. So I want to say I had like half to maybe around half of it left. And this is what I'm left with at the end of my project. That's it, just this little bit. And I made another Annabelle shawl. So I had already started this. So I just continued, and this is what it's looking like. So it is actually bigger than the other ones that I've done because this was a bonus bundle. It is bigger. So here, let me just show it to you here. So this is the Annabelle shawl. This is by Crystal over at Bag O' Day Crochet. It's a very beautiful pattern, 5 rows of granny stitch followed by 3 rows of double crochets in each stitch, and you just keep alternating that. And I'm pretty sure it is bigger than my usual ones because my usual ones are a little bit smaller, but I think it's perfect. It's very, very nice. So I used an 5.5 millimeter hook with this. Susan Bates, of course, that's my favorite hook. It's actually right here. That's my Susan Bates 5.5 millimeter hook. That is what I use, and it is done. So I'm super happy. I finished one project, and as soon as I finished it, I think I had about an hour left on my drive. So I was like, let me make something else. So I'm going to show that to you in a second. But first I want to show you, I bought this on sale. It's called Premier Very Plush Multi. I'm sorry, I didn't keep the label, so I don't know what this color is called, and I have it woven in the ends, but I made a small little mat for my daughter. So it's pretty much straight except for this one spot right here where I don't know what happened, but I might even just stitch it closed like that. This is a really, really soft yarn. I used a P-hook. So Lisa over at Happy to Hook Creations, she had made a blanket with this. Unfortunately, when I was making mine, I miscounted. But she said to make 36 single crochets, and I think I made 30 single crochets. So anyways, the bottom of it is a little wonky, but the top of it is nice and straight. So I'll just show you the top of it. This is a color changing yarn, and I'm guessing it's a number 7, a jumbo, and it's really, really soft. I don't think you can tell, but it's called Very Plush, and it is very plush. So I'll show you what this looks like. It's a very different type of yarn. I know that a lot of the yarns have a thread going through the middle, and then the yarn is kind of attached on it. That's the same case here, but you can actually see it very clearly. So you can see the thread, and then you can see the yarn that's on the thread. So when I was working it up, I was feeling all of this, and I was like, I don't know if that's going to make a plush material or not. If you stick your fingers in between, you can feel that thread, but I don't mind. So I'm thinking of giving this to my daughter for her room so she can put it by her bed, kind of like a mat. And yeah, I just wanted to use up this yarn. I had a little bit left over and I just threw it. There was not enough left to do really anything with it. And this project is done. So yay, I used 3 more balls of yarn. I have been very, very good, you guys. It is February 17th, I think, and I still have not bought any yarn since the beginning of this year. I have not bought any yarn in 2025, and I have no plans to. I made a Google sheet with my yarn inventory, and I'm just trying to get that number down. So right now it's hovering around 200 balls of yarn, and I just really want to get it down to like 150, 100. I want to use up what I have. I have such beautiful yarn, and so I don't really see the need right now to rush out and buy more. So when I came home, I finally had an idea for the rest of my Mandala gradient yarn. So if you go over to my posts, it used to be called the community tab, but if you go to my channel and you click on posts, you will see one Mandala gradient project that I'm making, and those are solid granny squares. I've made 4 of each color, and there's 16 squares, and I've already laid it out on my table. So my next task is to join them all. I need to use an invisible seam. I think that's what it's called, because I don't want any border around them individually. I just want a border around the entire project. So I need to go back and watch the video on that stitch or that invisible seam, because I'm going to be joining them with the white color. So I'm okay with the white color showing on the outside of the square, but not in the middle. So that is my project for today. And I used, how many balls did I use? I want to say I used 1.5 of each color. So let's say I used 6 balls of Mandala gradient in total, but I still had more left. This is full of Mandala gradient yarn. So finally, when I came back from my road trip, I was like, hey, it's a gradient yarn. Why don't I make a blanket? Okay. So instead of just making a granny square blanket, I remembered the star blankets. Okay. So I went on YouTube and I searched for star blankets, and I found one that looked really beautiful, and I started it. So I've started 6 of them in 6 colors of Mandala gradient. There's a green, purple, yellow, red, hot pink, soft pink. 6 of them. I've just made a start. I've just made the star shape just to kick it off, and I'm using a K 6.5 millimeter hook. And I'm like super excited. So this is what I've done this before. I did this, I think, in 2023, the same thing. I started like 4 star blankets. This time, I've started 6 star blankets. I like doing things like this because it keeps me on track. So I don't have to think too hard about what project to pick up and work on, because now I have projects that are already started. So yeah, so I started 6 star blankets. And I'm going to show those to you later on this week once I've made a little bit of progress on them. But the plan is that I think the Mandala gradient yarns are about, how many yards are there? I mean, I'd say between 350 to 400 yards. So I have about, some of them I only have 2 cakes left. Some of them I have 3 cakes. The plan is to just, so far, the plan is to just use them. So it could be a really nice size blanket, because it's a yarn eater, right? Because as you're going around the star, you're making double crochet, so it's just going to eat up the yarn, which is good. So I will try to link that in the description below. Probably not in today's video, but in the next video of this week. So I will link that down below when I show you that. Okay, so now I want to share with you the other project I started when there was 1 hour left on my drive home. I had this cake of Mandala ombre. This is the color Tranquil. Okay, that's what it looks like, Tranquil. And this is a medium 4 weight. It's about 344 yards. It recommends an I 5.5 millimeter hook, and that is actually what I used. I used an I 5.5 millimeter hook, which is very unlike me to use the actual hook size that's recommended. I usually hook up. Anyhow, so I decided to make another block stitch blanket. And so this is how much I have so far. That's what it's looking like. Sorry, it's just pulling on itself. But this is what I have so far. I tried to make it more of a rectangle because I find when I make these block stitch, I usually do that much. And then it becomes really tall and really weirdly shaped. So I decided that I'm going to make it more of a rectangle right now. And then it can become longer, but not be so weirdly, like not be a square. I wanted a rectangle. So this is a really, really pretty color, Tranquil. It has orangish, burnt orange, pink, purple, green, blue. And I only have one cake of it. So, and the plan is to join on another Mandala ombre onto this because I doubt I have enough to finish this. So I have Mandala ombre in Serene. And Serene is pinks and oranges, very bright pinks and oranges, like almost not neon color, but like very, very bright colors. So I have that color. So that is one possibility. And the other possibility, sorry, I started crocheting. The other possibility is Mantra. So that's the other color I have. And that has greens and blues and I think a little bit of gray in it. So I don't know what color I'm going to attach to this. Or I could just pick something completely different, but I was trying to stay within the same family of yarn so that I didn't mess it up. Let me just put this a bit lower so you can see my crocheting. So yeah, I have yet to decide what second ball of Mandala ombre I'm going to join to this, but I'm pretty sure that this is my last ball of Tranquil. So I'm just going to be, the other thing I can do, which I've done before, is to take a solid color of like Karen Simply Soft and then add it onto here. So I could totally do that. I'm just trying to think, what do I have in my yarn closet? So I think I have purple, but I don't have this soft lilac purple. I have a very bright purple. It's called Iris. That would not match with this. You know what? I'm not even sure. I might have, okay, so this color here, this pink, that one right there, I might be able to match to Karen Simply Soft because I think I might have watermelon, which is very close to this. So I'm going to check to see if I have watermelon or not. If I don't have it, then I might need to add on a different color of Mandala ombre. But I'm just like really excited that I finished that shawl in the car and that I started this. So I actually was working on this without looking because when we were driving home, it was becoming dark. The sun was setting. So I was actually working on this. This was like the first project that I could work on without looking at it. I know a lot of YouTubers are able to do that. I've just never really been able to do that much. But with this project, I know what the pattern is and like I can feel for the spaces. So I feel like I don't need to look down as much, which is like super duper exciting for me. So I might be making even more of these blankets in the future. So out of the yarn that I took, the Mandala bonus bundle is done. This Mandala ombre will be done. And then the other cake that I took was Karen Cinnamon Swirl Cakes in the color Springtime. And that was a purple mixed with, what is it mixed with? It's like purple with some peach and some light yellow, I want to say. So I've made corner to corner blankets out of that yarn before. And I mean, I could probably make a small corner to corner. I don't know that I have the grape color or any color that would match with that right now in my stash. I'm just trying to think if I have. Oh, I do have a no, I have a very different kind of peach color. Not that same shade, but I don't know what I want to make out of it. I'll need to see what I can match it with because it's only one cake. It's not even the full cake. So I played around with some designs with that yarn. So I don't have a full cake. It's pretty full though. I would say it's at least 3/4 is still there. But I I think I want to use up this yarn that I allocated for my trip before I go through my stash anymore. It's just I had taken it out, so I want to use it. And yeah, I don't think I took off the Very Plush multi off of my yarn inventory list. I mean, I think it was on that list, so I'll have to take it off. And I'll have to see if the Mandala bonus bundle was on there too. Because that was kind of more of like a scrap yarn, like it was what was left over. So I'm not sure if it was even on that list. But yeah, you guys, you know what? It was like so much fun shopping my stash. I got out one of my totes and then I was like, all right, I'm going on a trip. I was like, let's take at least 6 balls of yarn, which became 9. But and I don't even know how did I fit it all into my one tote. I have no idea. But it was really fun shopping my stash. I was just like, what color is speaking out to me? And what do I feel like making? So I honestly just picked those colors without knowing what project I would make and without knowing whether or not I would be following any instructions or I would just be making something that I've made before from memory. And that's what ended up happening is that I, had already started the Annabelle shawl, so I just finished it. And then this pattern I've made many times, so I don't even remember the count. I was off by 1 stitch, but I just single crocheted 2 together and made it work, which you can always do, guys. This crocheting is not about perfection, right? We're enjoying it. It's a hobby. For some of us, it's, a business or we sell things on the side. But as such, there's no crochet police coming to, tell you that you did something wrong. You can always fudge your stitches. You can always make it work. You can add a stitch. You can take away a stitch. And I feel like crochet is very forgiving in that manner. So yeah. So I'm going to use up the trip yarn first. And then I will work on those star blankets, which I hope to show you later on this week. I'd like to show you it once I've made some progress because right now they're so small. It's kind of impossible to understand what's there because I'm starting from the center of the cakes, and the center of the cakes is the lightest color. So I'm not even sure if on the camera it'll be able to pick up the difference in the shades. Like I have a very, very light shade of pink, then I have a white, then I have a yellow. Like I don't know if the camera will be able to pick that up. So I'm hoping to make a little bit more progress on them. And then, yeah, I'm like really excited that I started them because it just gives me that momentum that, okay, I started these, now I'm going to work on them. And it just like makes me very excited because I know what I have to look forward to. I'm not going into this like blind and kind of wondering like, how will I use these things? So it's really, really fun. I had a nice trip. It was a nice, a nice change to go away for a couple of days. And then, you kind of come back to your routine fresh and re-energized and, then you got to figure out meals for the week. So I actually have quite a large to-do list for today and I'm just going to work my way through it. But I wanted to first make sure that I have a video here and I spend some time with all of you because I always try to post, Mondays and Thursdays. So I think my 1 week I've posted on Friday and I feel like that reached more people. So I might post on a Friday also. But yeah, anyhow, let me know what you worked on while we were chatting. And let me know if you have any suggestions for an invisible seam. I don't even know if that's what it's called. But if there's like a joining method for joining squares in which you don't see the seam, I would really love to know what you've used. And you can just give me the name of it. I will search for it, but I would really appreciate that. So yes, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I hope you have a wonderful crochetful day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!